Hello, welcome to the Big Pete Montesano
You fuck
Metal
you.
Show.
You don't get to say my goddamn intro, you piece of shit. This is video number 3 in the last couple of hours. We're going hard and strong and thick and veiny.
Unlike our cocks.
You better believe. Better bring your microscope if you want to see mine. Anyway, in today's video, we're doing another Rank 'em All. This time for one of my personal favorite bands of all time. And this fucking list of this fucking pile right here, very difficult for me to fucking come to a conclusion of. Flotsam and Jetsam has had a lot of different fucking sounds and changes over their years and lineup changes and all that fucking happy horse shit. But we're gonna jump right into today's video.
I just had to turn it down just a little bit.
This man had to lower the Sodom.
No, I had to because we're talking about not only drunk Flotsam and Jetsam.
He's still drunk, by the way. Anyway, coming in at number 14, the least favorite Flotsam and Jetsam album, which I still like, actually. It's just, this album was pretty unmemorable to me. It is Unnatural Selection.
I don't even know this album.
He doesn't even know it. What a poser. You can set that down now.
So
Poser, bitch boy.
what was memorable about this album?
I mean, it was kind of in like that groove era where they were trying out, like, they were trying to be a little bit like on the groove metal side. It kind of came off a little bit like Anthrax's Volume 8 sounding.
So I would probably like it a lot.
You would probably, yeah. Yeah, I'd say. Coming in at number 13, another one of the same relative era. It just didn't really follow the groove aspect of things. Is their 1997 album, High. Another one that you kind of forget about when you think about Flotsam and Jetsam, honestly. There's one really good song on here. It's the closing track. You read that last one?
It just looks like a fucking...
It is a fork. The song is called Fork Boy. And I don't know what the hell it's really about, but it is a fucking banger of a song.
Dude, the rest of the logos for the songs are pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, they're all literally modeled after like different bands and shit. Like you got Slayer and Rip Off and Iron Maiden and shit on there. It's a cool concept, but overall, like the musical content of the album, it's pretty forgettable. It's still a decent album, and yeah, it's still a decent album, but it's really nothing I really remember too much outside of the one song.
Oh, I know this one.
Coming in at number 12, and more of the modern day Flotsam and Jetsam within last 15 years is Dreams of Death. Another one that I felt like really, it kind of fell a little flat. I feel like when it comes to Flotsam and Jetsam anyway, because their songwriting can be outrageously fucking epic. That one just kind of didn't really hit the mark as much. But moving on to numbers, thought, lost train. 4. It's not 4. We started at 14.
This is number 10? 9?
14. 12.
No, it's
13. Wow!
I guess you're catching
14,
secondhand drunk.
13. Number 11. 1995's Drift. This, I've seen some, on Metallum or Wikipedia pages and shit, call this progressive, and I don't know exactly what it is about this album that would hit the progressive landscape of things, but it's a little bit out there, and there's some songs on here that are pretty memorable, like 12-Year-Old with a Gun and Destructive Signs and Smoked Out. They're all they're all pretty good songs.
Kind of sounds like a school shooting.
Yes, it does. It's just not really that classic Flotsam and Jetsam that everyone fucking knows. Now, coming in at number 10.
We can just fix this.
I don't give a shit anyway. We're fucking doing what we want. Coming in at number 10, we have Ugly Noise. Ugly Noise is also a similar thing of that. The last one I talked about, people were calling that album progressive. I don't know what exactly is progressive about that album. It's got more of like that like OG heavy metal, like hard rock type of sound. It's definitely a little bit more experimental.
I feel like it's slightly angelic, in a way, like especially the first track.
Yeah. It's a little out there, but nonetheless, it is a decent album. Coming in at number 9, we have the third LP, 1990s, When the Storm Comes Down.
Hard album to find.
This is a very hard one to find, actually. It's not in circulation very much because they were on a different record label at the time. MCA Records. Yeah, shout out to Music Matters in Niagara Falls. That dude fucking has everything there is to fucking have in his store. It's ridiculous.
He's a great guy.
Such a small place too, and he's hot. So,
I love
that album. That album, however, it falls really flat for me because it just suffers from like really bad production. Honestly.
Did it?
Yeah, it sounds like shit. But I mean, the songs are good. The material's there, the content's there, but the production's ass.
So kind of like a couple albums from Pestilence where it was really good, but the production was absolute horseshit.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, there's a lot of metal from back in the day that suffers from that. People like it like that. I like a little bit better production. It doesn't have to be crystal fucking clear, but I mean, like,
I can get it where people like stuff like analog, but there's a difference between something that just sounds muddy and something that's analog. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, coming in at number 8, which is the immediate follow-up to that record, would be Quattro.
This is a good fucking album.
For all you uncultured people, this is their 4th album. Quattro means 4. In, I don't know, like Portuguese or something.
This one kind of sounded like Metallica.
It was definitely Flotsam and Jetsam's Black Album. And that means it went more in that, mainstreamy type of sound of the 90s. It kind of like tried to appease the grunge crowd because grunge was becoming super fucking popular. Fun fact, one of these songs was actually written by a king of grunge, Chris Cornell.
Really? What song?
The Message. Track 3, The Message. Co-written by Chris Cornell. It is in the liner notes if you want to bust that open and look at that. Well, I could. Yeah, fuck them.
My favorite songs off this album was "Swatting at Flies" and "Wading Through the Darkness." Super great songs.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. That has a lot of. The album has a lot of great songs on it for sure. Now coming in at number 7, we have 2001's "My God."
My God, what a great album!
This album is fucking great. This is it definitely is still in that type of like groove metal territory coming off of Unnatural Selection, which was my least favorite pick of this video. And this one it's just like Unnatural Selection, only if the songwriting was like kicked in the ass a little bit and fucking definitely hyped up a lot more. Now, coming in at number 6. I have now. Once we get to these top 6, this was extremely difficult for me. These are all honestly interchangeable.
Actually, this one was the first album I ever listened to by Flotsam and Jetsam.
It is The Cold.
Such a great album.
This album is fucking bonkers. It really is. You get all kinds of fucking different types of shit on here. It's so experimental, but it's so fucking heavy and melodic and like beautiful and dark as fuck at the same time.
The title track. So fucking good.
There's only one song on here that they could have definitely left out, and that is track 9, KYA, which stands for Kick Your Ass. It's a little bit cringy, but I mean, I can overlook it because the rest of the one out of 10 tracks that kind of like falls short. It still does not make a bad album to me. That's a phenomenal fucking album.
It wasn't a bad song, but for Flotsam and Jetsam and not, Machine Head, I could see how it wasn't the best.
Let's stop talking about Machine Head.
Head Machine.
The first 2 videos, we talked about Machine Head. I don't want to talk about Machine Head anymore.
Now we're talking about Jetsam and Flotsam.
Yeah. Lay off the booze, Troy.
Alright, let me go crash my Chevy Malibu.
Coming in at number 5, we have the second most recent album released in January of 2019, The End of Chaos. Holy shit, this album is a fucking ripper. Absolute fucking disgusting, nasty fucking
masterpiece.
Speed thrash. Oh, it just fucking gets my dick hard every fucking time without fucking fail. Now, immediately coming in after that, at number 4, is the album that dropped right before that. Their self-titled album from 2016. This album is just over-the-top fucking phenomenal. Epic. It's what I would call epic thrash, because it is 100% within that thrash sound. But holy shit. Let me see. Some of the tracks on here, like Iron Maiden, is just so, my god, it's so fucking epic. And Life is a Mess and Taser and Seventh Seal. Honestly, those first 4 fucking songs are incredible. The rest of it really goes on to fucking kick your ass too, especially like Smoking Gun and Forbidden Territories at the end of the album. Holy shit. It is just fantastic, fucking start to finish. Not one wasted second.
Really put that album there? Or are they just because it's interchangeable?
It's honestly, at this point, it's interchangeable. So, number 3, I have the most recent from 2021. This came out one day after my birthday. Is Blood in the Water. Holy fuck. This is just turning into a fucking jacking off fest over Flotsam and Jetsam. But I mean, these guys are seriously one of the most underappreciated acts in all of heavy metal.
They're great.
They're absolutely fucking phenomenal. Fucking Eric's vocals are like some of the, especially in those last 3 albums that we just talked about, those are the 3 most recent. His vocals have gotten so fucking good, dude. It's like, obviously he was a bit of a falsetto, higher singer when he was younger, and it was fucking great, don't get me wrong, but he has really fucking matured and like.
So the best way I can describe Eric AK's vocals, he's like a fine wine. He just gets better with age.
100%.
Because I remember when we were talking about this album the one time, I didn't like it at first until I gave it another try. I'm like, okay, I get the appeal.
Yeah.
And that goes with these two, because these are older ones, right?
Yes, so coming in at number 2, I have picked their debut album, the only one to feature Jason Newsted, who went on to join Metallica. This is Doomsday for the Deceiver from 1986. And holy fucking shit, this is an iconic fucking metal record. It is, honestly, I think this is the only one that the majority of metalheads know Flotsam and Jetsam for. They know that this is the band, this is the work that Jason Newsted did before he joined Metallica. Which is fair. I mean, they're going to get the attention from that. But holy shit, no one else gave them attention nearly as much as they deserved. Especially for their follow-up album in 1988, No Place for Disgrace.
A fucking banger it is.
Absolutely. There's really nothing that I have left to say about this album in particular that I haven't already said about like the last 5 or 6 albums. It is just absolutely perfect and brilliant. Some of metal's most finest things to offer. I mean, I'm a little biased here because Flotsam and Jetsam is one of my favorite bands ever. But, I mean, shit. If you're a Flotsam and Jetsam fan, tell me what the fuck you think in the comments. Tell me I'm wrong about whatever the thing is. We'll fight.
Better yet, tell us your favorite, in order, albums from Flotsam and Jetsam.
Hit up my Instagram. Give me a fucking personal message. Give me a time and place to fight me if you want, and I'll fucking fight you.
And I'll come and suck your dicks.
Yep.
And we'll end it here.
No, we're actually going to end it at the fact that if you want the skin on your dick to stay on your dick and not get sucked off by this guy, then agree with me, goddammit.
Drew Wood, I'm coming after your skin.